Hello, everybody. So we're going to continue with lesson 1.11, Evaluate Numerical Expressions. We're on page 47 of the 5th grade Go Math textbook. And so we do need to review the order of operations to be successful in this lesson, because the essential question is, in what order must operations be evaluated to find the solution to a problem? So order of operations. First most important thing is to perform operations in parentheses. Then we will multiply and divide from left to right. Finally, add and subtract from left to right. So you'll often hear the phrase or acronym PEMDAS. P for parentheses, E stands for exponents, M for multiply, D for divide, A for addition, and S for subtraction. So parentheses must come first, and then if there's any exponents, we would apply or solve for the exponents. Then we're going to multiply or divide left to right. If all we have is multiplication and division in a problem, even if the division is written first, we're going to divide first, then multiply. Okay, because we're going to go left to right if we only have multiplication or division. And then the same rule for addition and subtraction. If we're only left with addition and subtraction, we're going to go left to right, regardless of which one is listed first. All right, so remember that a numerical expression is a mathematical phrase that uses only numbers and operation symbols. So we see here the difference of 5 and 2 times 7. Here we see 72 shared with 9, and then add 16 more. Here we have the difference of 24 and 15, and then add 32 more. So to evaluate or find the value of a numerical expression with more than one operation, you must follow the rules called the order of operations. The order of operation tells you in what order you should evaluate an expression. And so that's what we talked about here. All right, so unlock the problem. A bread recipe calls for 4 cups of wheat flour and 2 cups of rye flour. To triple the recipe, how many cups of flour are needed in all? So 4 cups of wheat flour, 2 cups of rye flour. We're going to triple the recipes. That means we're going to do 3 times as many. So we're going to evaluate 3 times 4, because tripling would be 3 times the 4 cups of wheat flour and 3 times the 2 cups of rye flour. All right, so we have to figure out. It says A, Gabriella did not follow the order of operations correctly. And B, we have to follow the order of operations by multiplying first and then adding. So let's look here. So here, 3 times 4 plus 3 times 2. She says first I added. Well, no, she should multiply first. Okay? Multiplication or divide, then add or subtract. Then she multiplies. So she got those backwards. So let's do it correct. So 3 times 4, 12, plus 3 times 2. So we can say first I multiplied. Okay. Then I add. And 12 plus 6 is 18. Okay. So explain why Gabriella's answer is not correct. Well, she added first instead of multiplying. You could simply say she didn't follow the order of operations. Okay. So, how many cups of flour are needed? 18. 12 cups of wheat flour and 6 cups of rye flour. All right, let's move on to page 48. So that was a good example of why it's important to follow the order of operations. Because if you don't, you're obviously going to get an incorrect response. We have to follow some type of order. There has to be some type of agreement. Otherwise, we would all get different answers for math if we have multiple operations. So evaluate expressions with parentheses. All right, to evaluate or to solve an expression with parentheses, follow the order of operations. Perform the operations in parentheses first. There can be multiple operations within a parenthesis, right? So we're still going to follow those sets of operations or order of operations. We're still going to multiply from left to right, then add and subtract from left to right. So here's an example. Each batch of granola Lena makes uses 3 cups of oats, 1 cup of raisins, and 2 cups of nuts. Lena wants to make 5 batches of granola. How many cups of oats, raisins, and nuts will she need in all? So here's the expression. 5 times the sum of 3 plus 1 plus 2. So the 3 cups of oats plus the 1 cup of raisins plus the 2 cups of nuts. That would make 1 batch. And we're going to multiply by 5. So order of operations says, again, remember, parentheses first, followed by exponents. Then we're going to multiply or divide left to right, and then add or subtract left to right. Okay. So we have to add first. Okay, so 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. Now all we have left is multiplication. So 5 times 6, 30. So Lena will use 30 cups of oats, raisins, and nuts in all. What if Lena makes 4 batches? Will this change the numerical expression? Yeah, of course it will. The previous one was based on 5 batches. So if she makes only 4 batches, we would have to change the 5 to a 4. All right, so my explanation is yes, the 5 would change to a 4 because 5 represents making 5 batches. So it would have to change to a 4 in this case. All right, let's try these. So rewrite the expression with parentheses to equal the given value. And so we see that we have the sum of 6 and 12 times 8 minus 3. And we have to come up with 141. Well, what's the order that we're going to do? What do we want to add first? Let's say we add 6 and 12 first. That would give us 18, right? And this then say that I multiply by 8. Well, 18 times 8 is 144. And then if I take away 3, that would be 141. So we need to we're going to put parentheses around the 6 and the 12, but they want us to first figure it out without the parentheses. So without the parentheses, we would do multiplication first. Okay? Because we're going to multiply or divide left to right, and then add or subtract left to right. So 8 times 12 is 96. Okay? So we're going to then rewrite that. 6 plus 96 minus 3. So 6 plus 96 is 102 minus 3. So that would give us an answer of 99. So it's not, we have to put parentheses, because if we just follow the order of operations, we don't get 141. Okay, so it would be 99 without the parentheses. So now try placing the parentheses in the expression so the value is 141. So now my first guess when I first tried this, I might be wrong. Okay, the parentheses might not be around that. And so I might have to try a couple times to figure out where the parentheses has to go. So here, because we know that parentheses come first, followed by any exponents, then multiply or divide, finally adding or subtracting. So if I put parentheses around 6 and 12, I have to do that first. So 18 times 8 minus 3. So now I'm left with multiplication and subtraction. So the order of operations tells me to multiply first. So 18 times 8. 8 times 8 is 64. I'm going to regroup that as 6 tens and 4 ones. 8 times 1 10 is 8 tens, and 6 more tens is 14 tens, or 144. So 18 times 8 is 144. And then if we take away 3, we'd have 141. Okay. So the parentheses will go around 6 and 12. All right, evaluate the expression without the parentheses. All right, and they say we're going to need to come up with the value of 11. So let's just see if we come up with the value of 11 by following the order of operations. So we have addition, division, and subtraction. Well, I have to divide first, okay, because we multiply or divide, then add and subtract. So 5 plus 28 divided by 7, that's 4, right? 28 divided by 7 is 4, minus 4. Now we're going to add or subtract left to right. Okay, 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 take away 4 is 5. Okay, so following the order of operations, I get 5. I was supposed to get 11. Okay, so we have to try something else. Now let's see. Well, if I add 5 and 28 first, that's 33, right? And 33 divided by 7, that's going to give me a remainder. I don't like that. But I think I see that if I do 5 plus 28, that's 33. And then if I divide, put parentheses around 7 and minus 4, that would be 3. 33 divided by 3. That would be 11, right? So let's try that. 5 plus 28 is 33. Okay. Divide by the difference of 7 and 4, which is 3. Okay, remember, we can't divide before we do the things in parentheses. All right, so now, after doing the things in parentheses, I'm left with 33 divided by 3. Will that give me 11? How many 3s can I take from 3 tens? 1. Bring down my 3 ones. How many 3s can I take from 3 ones? 1, leaving me nothing left over with an answer of 11. Okay, so that would be correct. All right, let's try page 49. Evaluate the numerical expression. So we have 10 plus 36 divided by 9. There aren't any parentheses, so I have to divide first. Multiply or divide, then add and subtract. So what is 36 divided by 9? 36 divided by 9, that's a basic math fact, is 4. And then we're left with 10 plus 4. Okay, so the 4 comes from dividing by 36 by 9, and then we still have to add the 10. So 10 and 4 is 14. All right, number 2. 10 plus the difference of 25 and 10 divide by 5. All right, so let's say I get confused and I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do first. Well, let's write out what our order is. Parentheses, followed by exponents, multiply or divide, left to right, then add or subtract, left to right. Okay, so I do see parentheses in this problem, so this is going to be first. Right, so I'm going to rewrite the 10. I'm not doing anything with that or the addition sign. I am going to take away 10 from 25. 25 take away 10. That's 15. Divide by 5. So I no longer have parentheses because I subtracted already. So now I have addition and division. Well, division comes before addition. So now we're going to divide. So 10 plus 15 divided by 5. 15 divided by 5 is a basic math fact, so 3. Now I only have one operation left. 10 plus 3, 13. Right, number 3. 9, take away the product of 3 and 2 and add 8 more. Okay, so again, I see parentheses in this problem. I have to do that first. So what is 3 times 2? Well, 3 times 2 is just 6, right? That's a basic math fact. Plus 8. Now we have subtraction and addition. Now we're going to add or subtract left to right. So this is where I think some students get it confused with the acronym PEMDAS, because they say, oh, well, the A comes before S, so I have to add first. That's not correct. When you're left with just addition or subtraction, we just go left to right. Okay, so subtraction is going to be first because we're just going left to right. So 9 take away 6 is 3. So the difference of 9 and 6 is 3 plus 8. Okay, so we're going to eliminate one operation at a time. All right, and 3 times 8, 3 plus 8 is 11. All right, number 4. Evaluate the numerical expression. The sum of 4 and 49 take away 4 times 10. All right, so I see parentheses, so I'm going to do that first. The little one with a circle, that's a clue to me that's why I have to do that first. Okay, so I'm evaluating the order of what I'm going to do. And then when I look here, I would multiply before subtracting, but I want to eliminate first. So 4 plus 49, that's 53. Okay, 49 plus 4 more, we should be able to do that in our head. take away 4 times 10. All right, so now we have subtraction and multiplication. Multiplication becomes before subtraction, so I'm going to multiply 4 and 10. So I'm not doing anything with the 53 and the subtraction sign. I am going to simplify 4 times 10. 4 times 10 is 40. All right, now we only have subtraction. So what is 53 take away 40? 3 take away 0 ones is 3. 5 tenths take away 4 tenths is 1. So we get an answer of 13. Number 5. 5 plus 17 take away 100, divide by 5. So parentheses, I see none. Exponents, I don't see any. Multiplication or division. Okay, I do see a division sign, so I'm going to do that first. So let's rewrite everything else, and let's solve the division. What is 100 divided by 5? Okay, well, I can't put 100 into 5 groups. But I can trade that 100 for 10 tens, and then I can put 2 of those in each of those 5 groups. 5 times 2 is 10, leaving me 0. So I was able to share the 10 tens equally, and then I have to bring down my zeros, my ones I mean, and I have none of those, so you're not going to put any in any group. So we have 20. So 20 divided by 100 divided by 5 is 20. Now we have addition and subtraction. We're going to add or subtract left to right. So whatever comes first. So 17 and 5 more is 22. Take away 20. Okay, well, what's 22 take away 20? 2. Number 6. 36 take away the sum of 8 and 5. Parentheses is first, right? All right, so we have to do this first. We have to do the sum of 8 and 5. So 36 take away the sum of 8 and 5. 8 and 5 is 13. Now I only have subtraction. What is 36 take away 13? 6 ones take away 3 ones is 3 ones. 3 tens take away 1 10, 2 tens. So we have 23. All right, number 7. We have 125 take away the sum of 68 and 7. All right, again, I see parentheses, so that has to go first. So we're going to have 125 take away the sum of 68 and 7. 68 plus 7. 8 and 7 is 15. Regroup that as 1 10 and 5 ones. 6 tens plus 1 10 is 7 tens. So the sum of the parentheses was 75. Now I only have subtraction. 125 take away 75. 5 ones take away 5 ones is 0. 2 tens take away 7 tens. I can't do that. But I can regroup from the hundreds and give 100, trade 100 for 10 tens. So now we have 12 tens. 12 take away 7 is 5. So we get an answer of 50. Number 8. Rewrite the expression with parentheses to equal the given value. All right, well, let's try it. Let's say we were supposed to divide. What is 30 divided by 5? 30 divided by, I'm sorry, let me write it here. Excuse me. All right, what is 30 divided by 5? Well, 30 divided by 5 is 6. 100 take away 6. That's 94. Oh, that's nowhere close to 14. So it's not divide first. Well, that only leaves me one other choice, right? So let's try 100, take away 30, okay, in parentheses, and then divide by 5. Okay, what is 100 take away 30? We should be able to do that in our head. 10 take away 3, 7. So 70 divide by 5. Okay, so I have 70. I'm going to put them into 5 groups. I can put 110 in each of the 5 groups with a remainder of 2 10s. I'm going to trade those 2 10s for 21s. 20 divided by 5 is 4. Okay, so we do get 14. So our answer is 100, take away 30, in parentheses, then divide by 5. Okay, so again, gas and check. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong the first time. Just try something else. All right, number 9. We need to come up with an answer of 23. So let's just do it. I don't know. Let's say I think it's 17 take away 3 in parentheses. All right, so that gives me 12 plus 14 times 2. Okay, well, now I would have to multiply, and 2 14s. 14 and 14, that's 28 plus 12. Well, okay, I already know that that's going to be too big because 28 is bigger than 23, and I have to add 12 more. So that wasn't right. Okay. Let's try... I don't know. How about putting the parentheses around the 3 and the 2? Technically, I don't need to because I would multiply first. But let's try that. Okay, so 12 plus 17 minus the product of 3 and 2. 3 and 2, 3 times 2 is 6. Okay. So we did that first. Now, add or subtract left to right. So we're going to add first. So 12 and 17. 17 plus 12, 29. 29 take away 6 is 23. So that is right. So 12 plus 17 minus 3 times 2. All right. It says rewrite the expression with parentheses, but I would get 23 by just following the order of operations in this problem. Okay, but we're going to make sure to multiply first. So 3 times 2. All right, and number 10, we need a value of 2. Well, I can see that if I divide first, 5 divided by 5 is 1. And then I only have addition left. So 9 plus 1 plus 2. That's 12. So they're not dividing first. And 9 plus 5 is 14. 14 divided by 5. Oh, that's not a basic math fact. So I'm thinking that I probably have to have 2 parentheses. I'm going to want to add first. I'm going to add both of those first and then divide. I might be wrong, but I'm thinking that's right. 9 and 5, that's 14, right? Divide by what's 5 plus 2? 7. All right, 14 divided by 7. Yes, that's 2, right? So it's going to be 9 plus 5 in parentheses, because I want to add those first. And then I'm going to divide the sum of 5 and 2. So we're going to have 2 parentheses this time. If I don't put a parenthesis around 5 and 2, then after I figure out 9 plus 5, I have to divide by 5. And that's not going to be right. So I want to add the 5 and 2 first. All right, so now, number 11. Reason abstractly. The value of 100, take away 30, divide by 5, with parentheses can have a value of 14 or 94. Explain. Well, if you subtract first, you would get 70. And 70 divided by 5 equals 14. Okay, so it's basically this problem here that we tried here, number 8. See how we got 94 and 14? So, or if you divide 30 and 5 first, you'd get 6, and 100 take away 6 equals 94. Okay. So, if you subtract 130 first, you would get 70, and 70 divided by 5 is 14. Or, if you divide 30 and 5 first, you'd get 6, and 100 take away 6 is 94. So you could get 14 or 94. So that's why parentheses plays an important role. Okay, in the order of operations, if this problem was just written this way, the acceptable answer is 94, not 14, because there aren't parentheses. Okay, and we would have to divide first. All right, page 50. A movie theater has 4 groups of seats. Sorry about that. Has 4 groups of seats. The largest groups of seats in the middle has 20 rows with 20 seats in each row. Okay. There are 2 smaller groups of seats on the sides, each with 20 rows and 6 seats in each row. A group of seats in the back has 5 rows with 30 seats in each row. How many seats are in the movie theater? Well, okay, so we have a middle section of 20 by 20. We have 2 smaller groups of 20 by 6. And we have a back row of 5 by 30. How many seats are in the movie theater? Well, what do I need to find? Or what do you need to know? I need to find the total number of seats in the movie theater. All right, what operation can you use to find the number of seats in the back group of seats? And write the expression. So the back row of seats was 5 rows of 30. Well, I'd use multiplication. What operation can you use to find the number of seats in both groups of side seats? Write the expression. So this one, we'd have, let's see, we have 20 rows, and we have 6 seats in each row. And we have 2 sets of those. Well, we still will use multiplication. So this time, we have 2 sets of them, 1 on each side, 2 times, and then how much is in each side section? Well, 20 rows of 6. So 2 times the product of 20 and 6. All right. And D, what operation can you use to find the number of seats in the middle group? In the middle group, there was 20 rows of 20. Well, that's multiplication too. $20 times 20. Write an expression to represent the total number of seats in the theater. Well, we have 3 sections, right, basically. So we have the first one. We have the 5 times 30 plus the second, which was 2 times the product of 20 and 6, plus 20 times 20. How many seats are in the theater? All right, well, we know we have to multiply before adding, but I see a parenthesis, so I need to do that one the very first. So 5 times 30 plus 2 times, what is 20 times 6? 20 times 6 is 120. So 2 times 120 plus 20 times 20. All right, so now I have multiplication, addition, multiplication, addition, multiplication. So I'm going to do all of these multiplication problems first. 5 times 30. Well, 5 times 3 tenths is 15 tenths, so 150. Plus 120 doubled. Well, that's 240. 120 plus 120 is 240. Plus 20 times 20. Well, 2 times 2 is 4, and it's going to be followed by 2 zeros. So now we have 150 plus 240 plus 400. Now we just add. So 150 plus 240. 5 and 4 is 9, and 2 and 1 is 3. So 390 plus 400. Well, 400 plus 300 is 700, and then add 90 more. 790. 790 seats in the theater. Show the steps. Okay, those were the steps I used. Okay, so 790 seats. (13) Write and evaluate 2 equivalent numerical expressions that show the distributive property of multiplication. Okay, so I could have 4 times 9 plus 6, okay, which equals 4 times 15. Okay, or I could have 4 times 9 plus 4 times 6. And that would equal 4 times 9, 36, plus 24, which would be 60. And 4 times 15 is 60. So those are the two numerical expressions that would be equivalent. Now, you can come up with your own numbers, obviously. Okay. And 14. Rosalie evaluates the numerical expression 4 plus 5 times 2 minus 1. Rosalie's first step should be 2. Okay, so there's no parentheses, right? If there's no parentheses, we now look for multiplication or addition or division. I see multiplication, so that's the first thing she needs to do, multiply. All right. So that's it for lesson 111. In our next lesson, we're going to expand this concept of parentheses to include brackets and braces. Okay. And so those are going to be some additional grouping symbols in lesson 112. All right, so until then, I will see you soon.